Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Steve,
And I'm Scott.
and together we are Backyard Musings in the backyard,
Yep.
Apple Valley, California.
Yep. A little windy today, but not
Tolerable.
bad. Not bad for a Friday, February
15th,
yeah,
day
February
after
15th
Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Hope you had a great Valentine's Day yesterday. We danced the night away.
Some of us did.
Some of us did. Yeah.
Some of us did not. So.
It's probably why I slept so well. I was tired, man. Okay, so we're the Science and Technology Channel, bringing you innovation stuff. We're not subject matter experts, but we report on stuff from the subject matter experts. Got an interesting one this afternoon. NASA's NEO Surveyor has passed its critical design review, clearing the way for construction and testing. This infrared telescope will be the first space mission dedicated to detecting hazardous asteroids and comets, with a launch planned no earlier than 2027. On February 6, NASA's NEO Surveyor, Near Earth Object Surveyor, successfully passed its critical design review at the Jet Propulsion Lab in Southern California, where the mission is managed. Would you like to know more?
So, after 3 days of in-depth presentations, a NASA Standing Review Board confirmed that the mission meets all required technical and performance standards. With the milestone achieved, the project now moves into the next stages of construction and testing. The spacecraft's instrument enclosure was initially built at JPL before being sent to NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston for environmental testing. These tests simulate the harsh conditions of launch and space to ensure the equipment's durability. The enclosure will soon return to JPL for further development. So this is kind of a redo. They used to have a Surveyor landing craft that they used to land on the moon, to check stuff out on the moon, and there was a Surveyor 1, Surveyor 2. So I wonder why they're doing reusing the name again. But anyway, it's all good.
Well, they're taking surveys of the asteroids and comets.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the mission's telescope, housed within a large aluminum structure known as the Optical Telescope Assembly, is undergoing final testing at JPL. This spring, both the telescope and instrument enclosure will be shipped to the Space Dynamics Lab in Logan, Utah.
Huh.
There's a lot of labs and stuff. It's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
Logan, Utah. I love Logan, Utah, but that's an interesting place for this to be.
Where the remaining subsystems will be integrated and tested as NASA's first space-based detection mission specifically designed for planetary defense. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
NEO Surveyor will seek out, measure, and characterize the hardest to find asteroids and comets that might pose a hazard to Earth. While these near-Earth objects don't reflect much visible light, they glow brightly in infrared light due to heating by the sun.
Scheduled for launch no earlier than late 2027, the NEO Surveyor mission is led by Professor Amy Mainzer at UCLA on behalf of NASA's Planetary Defense Coordination Office.
Cool.
Yeah. Sounds kind of
sci-fi,
military, right?
Sci-fi.
Yeah, it's cool. The mission is being developed by the Jet Propulsion Laboratory under the oversight of the Planetary Missions Program Office at NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center in Huntsville, Alabama.
Man, they're all over the United States.
Yeah.
This is cool. Several aerospace and engineering companies, including BAE Systems, Space Dynamics Laboratory, and Teledyne. Was that Terminator?
Oh, I don't know.
Huh.
Teledyne's a huge company, though.
Yeah. Have been contracted to build the spacecraft and its instruments. The Laboratory for Atmospheric and Space Physics at the University of Colorado Boulder will handle mission operations, while IPAC at Caltech in Pasadena, California, will process survey data and produce mission data products. JPL, which is managed by Caltech for NASA, is overseeing the spacecraft's development.
Large asteroid impacting Earth is highly unlikely for the foreseeable future.
Thank goodness.
Yep. But because the damage from such an event could be great, NASA leads hypothetical asteroid impact tabletop exercises every 2 years, and with experts and decision makers from federal and international agencies to address the many uncertainties of any impact scenario. The most recent exercise took place this last April, with a preliminary report being issued on June 20th.
Cool.
Yeah.
Making such a scenario realistic and useful for all involved is no small task. Scientists from the Center for Near-Earth Object Studies at NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab in Southern California, were specialized in the tracking and orbital determination of asteroids and comets and finding out if any hazards to Earth, have played a major role in designing these exercises since the first one 11 years ago. These hypothetical scenarios, quote, are complex and take significant effort to design, so our purpose is to make them useful and challenging for exercise participants and decision makers to hone their processes and procedures to quickly come to a plan of action while addressing gaps in the planetary defense community's knowledge, said JPL's Paul Chodas, the director of the program.
This year's scenario, a hypothetical asteroid, possibly several hundred yards across, has been discovered with an estimated 72% chance of impacting Earth in 14 years. Potential impact, that's not too far off, right?
Yeah.
Potential impact locations include heavily populated areas in North America, South Europe or Southern Europe, and North Africa, but there's still a 28% chance the asteroid will miss Earth. After several months of being tracked.
Wow, that's like 3/4 chance it'll hit, 1/4 chance it won't. Oh my gosh, that's way too close for comfort for me.
Yeah. After several months of being tracked, the asteroid moves too close to the sun, making further observations impossible for another 7 months. Decision makers must figure out what to do.
Leading the exercise were NASA's Planetary Defense Coordination Office, the Federal FEMA Response Directorate, and the Department of State Office of Space Affairs. I didn't know the Department of State has a space affairs. Yeah. I guess they'll make contact with aliens if. Over the course of 2 days in April, participants gathered at the Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Lab in Laurel, Maryland, which hosted the event to consider the potential national and global responses to the scenario.
Okay, again, another quote. This was a very successful tabletop exercise with nearly 100 participants from U.S. government agencies, and for the first time, international planetary defense experts.
That's cool.
Says, yeah, Tariq Daly from APL, who coordinated the exercise. And again, quote, an asteroid impact would have severe national and international ramifications, obviously. So should this scenario play out for real, we'd need international collaboration. So, yeah.
In real life, CNEOS calculates the orbit of every known near-Earth object to provide assessments of future potential impact hazards in support of NASA's planetary defense program. To make this scenario realistic, the CNEOS team simulated all observations in the months leading up to the exercise and used orbital determination calculations to simulate the probability of impact. So that is cool. Now we can detect it. What do we have to stop it? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. So, and when I was reading this earlier, I was thinking, we had obviously a horrific attack on our country on September 11th, 2001, right?
Yeah.
Two large, at least in New York, two large aircraft impacted the World Trade Center. And look how devastating that was. That was just two planes. And this thing is a lot bigger than two planes. This asteroid that they're projecting.
100 yards wide.
Yeah, so
it's a football field.
Right, and mass. I mean, it has huge mass, right?
The speed and the velocity,
right,
hitting radiant. So a little bit will probably burn off in the atmosphere, but not a lot.
Yeah. So, like you say, what could they do about it? Could they go up there and pulverize it with some kind of weapon or something? I don't know.
Lasers.
And then what would that do to the atmosphere?
Have a bunch of little things, that might burn up in the atmosphere. But, I mean, you got to have something online. But how would other countries feel if we shipped missiles up into space? I don't think they'd like that very much. Even though it's for planetary defense, they might think that it's something that could be used against them. Yeah.
That's why I think this international collaboration it's got to happen.
Yeah.
Something like this did happen.
Definitely.
So everybody's got to be on board. So
definitely. I
mean, just to quote a movie, you remember? Did you ever see the movie Independence Day?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
There you go. International collaboration. So,
All right, folks. Thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoy your Sabbath tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Yep. Take care, everyone.